Hello students, welcome back. So we were discussing about the empirical formula and we have also learned how to calculate the empirical formula of a particular compound. Okay, now today we'll talk about the physical quantities in chemistry and how to measure anything in chemistry. Okay, so physical quantity and measurement in chemistry. Okay, fine. So let's see what are physical quantities that you know. These are used to measure the, you can say, the particular thing of an object. If I say we want to measure anything, that how much amount is there, then we'll measure with the help of mass. If we want to measure how much, if it that particular container contains how much volume, then we need to use the volume. We need to measure in the terms of volume for the liquids and gases. For the solids, we need to use the term mass. Then pressure, we need to measure for the gas. So all these are physical quantities. Fine. Let's say see few physical quantities. Mass, then weight, density, pressure, force, then what else is there? Temperature, volume, temperature, then volume. Let's define all these. Mass, what do you mean by mass? Basically it is the amount of the substance present. Amount of the substance present in the or contained in it. Amount of the substance contained by it. That is by the substance. Weight, we can say weight, it is the force exerted. This is the force. This is a term of physics, by gravity on an object. So that's why these are the different. But in general term, we are using the terms as like similar, that mass and weight, they are the same, but actually they are the different. Fine. Density, you know that, mass per unit volume. Pressure is force per unit area. Then force is what? Product of mass into acceleration. Temperature is the degree or intensity of hotness of an object. Of hotness of an object. Then volume is what? Volume is the space occupied by the substance. This is the space occupied by the substance. Fine. So these are the units, physical quantities, and they measured in their particular units. Okay, different units are there. Like for mass, we know that it's expressed in grams, kilograms. Then weight also grams, kilograms. Weight is Newton. Sorry, it's the force. It isn't representing expressed in Newton. Density, then you know that mass per unit volume, kg per meter cube or kg per liter. Then pressure, force per unit area. Again, it's Newton per meter square. Force is Newton, so Newton per meter square. Force is mass into acceleration, it's Newton. Temperature, we know that degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit, so many are there. Volume also liter, meters, and so on. So let's see the different system of units. Okay, units of measurement. So in units of measurement, two types of system of units are there. units of measurement. Two types are there. One is CGS system. One is your system international. The units. That is SI system of units. Fine. So this is accepted. Accepted all over the world. This CGS is not that accepted. This is basically C is for centimeter cube, G is for grams, and S is for second. Okay. CGS system. So let's see because this is accepted you can say overall it is accepted. Fine. So that's why it is known as SI unit. So here we'll write the physical quantity. Here we'll write the SI unit. Okay. So mass, we know that SI unit is kg. Volume, meter cube is the SI unit. Temperature, degree Celsius. Force, Newton, capital N. You know. Pressure, Newton per meter square. Fine. Or you can write like this also. Then what else is left? Weight also in Newton. And so on. Fine. So these are the units which are accepted worldwide. Mole, if I'll say, mole will only write mole. So this is the unit of mole. Okay. E will not represent here. So this is about the physical quantity. Now let's see. Now see, if different system of units are there, so there is need to convert one system of units into the another. Why? Because suppose if in other countries they are using different sets of units. Fine. So there is some countries they are using CGS, some they are using MKS. So then how will do the conversion? So there is need to convert one set of system of units into the another set of system. So this conversion is known as dimensional analysis or unit conversion factor. So let's see what is this. Okay, this is your dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis or unit factor method or conversion factor method. So what is this basically? Here we will convert one set of systems into the another one. Fine. So what is the conversion factor here? Here the conversion factor, it is the ratio of the magnitude. Magnitude means numerical value. Magnitude of the same physical quantity in two different sets of units. Quantity in two different sets of units. Fine. Or so how we will do the unit conversion? The unit which needs to be converted, I am writing here, unit needs to be converted, has to be taken in denominator. And the unit required in numerator. Let's take this, you know also, okay. But here we are studying in terms of this conversion factor. For example, simplest I am taking in time 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Fine. So this we can write in terms of this also. 1 is equal to 1 minute divided by 60 seconds, or 1 is equal to 60 seconds divided by 1 minute. Okay, this is known as, both are known as unit factor for the conversion of minute to seconds and seconds to minute. Both are the unit factors for the conversion of minute to second and second to minute. Now let's see how to use it. I hope this term is clear, that it's a ratio. This is a ratio of the magnitude of the same physical quantity in two different sets of units. So it is the same physical quantity, that is time. Okay, time here we have taken time. So unit is minute also, unit is second also. So it's a ratio of the two magnitude. Magnitude is also different, value is different, but physical quantity is same and units are different in two different sets of unit. This is the meaning of this. That's why it is known as unit factor or conversion factor. Fine. So this also you have to keep in mind. This is the note point. This will you be using while converting one set of system to the another. Unit which needs to be converted, take in denominator. Unit which is required for the conversion, so that is you just take in the numerator. For example, let's see. Let's see how to use this. Okay, for example, suppose you have to convert, you have to convert 20 minutes into seconds. Fine. So what are the factors? That 1 minute divided by 60 seconds, or 60 seconds divided by 1 minute. Now what is our question? Minute to second. So unit need to be converted, means minute has to be converted. So take minute in denominator. Okay. We know that, as we know, 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Fine. So unit need to be converted, that is minute. So take minute in denominator, and required one is seconds, so take 60 above. Okay. So with you can say that which conversion factor is required here. Unit, what we are saying, unit need to be converted, remains in denominator, which is required remains in numerator. So we'll use this conversion factor. So whatever is given, multiply that with the given conversion factor, you will get the desired unit. Okay, why? Because this will get cancelled out and only you will be left with the desired unit. Okay, if the units are getting cancelled one, which need to be converted, it means you are correct, the answer is correct. If it is not getting cancelled out, it means something you have done wrong. Okay, so 1200 seconds. So this is your answer. Fine, let's take the another example. 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeter. Okay, so what is the conversion factor? 1 inch divided by 2.54 centimeter, or 2.54 centimeter into 1 inch. So let's do the question based on this. Okay, so let's do it. We need to convert this. Okay, so this is the conversion factor. So let's convert. Let's say my question is convert 3 inches to centimeter. Fine. So let's see. We have written the dimensional factor like this: 1 inch, 2.54 centimeter, or 2.54 centimeter divided by 1 inch. Now inch to centimeter is required. It means inch has to be converted, so it will come in denominator, and centimeter is required, so it will come in numerator. So multiply this 3 inch with this conversion factor. Okay, so remember this point and keep in mind, so you will not get wrong here. Okay, so just multiply what you will get. 12, 16, 9.62 centimeter. And suppose if reverse is required, that converts centimeter to inch, then you will be using this conversion factor. In this way you have to use. Let's take another example. Let's convert wavelength, okay, into meters or picometer and so on. Fine. So wavelength, say example, let's convert 10 angstrom to meter. Okay, this is the unit of wavelength. All of you know what is wavelength, and you have studied in 9th standard in sound chapter. Fine. So what's the conversion factor? How this angstrom is related to meter? So 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meter. How to write the conversion factor? 1 is equal to 1 angstrom divided by 10 to the power minus 10 meter, or 10 to the power minus 10 meter divided by 1 angstrom. Sorry, let's take capital A only here. Okay, it's A and then dot over it. A dot over it. A dot over it. Fine. So let's use this. So which conversion factor will be using now to converting 10 angstrom to meter? Angstrom has to be converted in denominator. Meter is required in numerator. Okay, so let's take this. Okay, let's do this. So 10 angstrom multiply by 10 to the power minus 10 meter divided by 1 angstrom. Cancel out. You will left with the answer 10 to the power minus 9 meter. In this way you are supposed to convert the one set of units to the another. Fine. So this is how you will convert one set of units to the another one. The conversion factor they will provide you in the given question. Fine. Let's see one more, the last one. Okay. Let's convert microgram to gram. Okay. Microgram to gram. One micro means 10 to the power minus 6. Okay. So can we say that 1 microgram into 10 to the power minus 6 gram. Okay. So 1 is equal to 1 microgram divided by 10 to the power minus 6 gram. Okay, or 10 to the power minus 6 gram to 1 microgram. Now my question is convert 10 grams to micrograms. Okay, so which factor this has to be converted? Take in denominator and required one in the numerator. So multiply this, the first unit conversion factor method. This will get cancelled out, and this one also is 10, it's above, so when it will come and it is 10 to the power minus 6, so when it will come about it will become 10 to the power 7, so 10 to the power 8, 10 to the power 8. Sorry, not 10 to the power 8, it's 10 to the power 7 microgram. Okay. 10 to the power 7 microgram. Sorry. So this whole method is known as dimensional analysis. Okay. So this is how you have to convert one set of units into the another set. Fine. So in the next class we'll see how to measure different quantities in chemistry. Okay, what are the precautions that we have to take. Fine. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.